All of these indictments caused Obama the other day on a podcast to say that right now democracy is being threatened.
Yeah, I know. He says that all the time. He's the one that threatened it by spying on my campaign. He started it. Obama spied on my campaign, and he did it knowing it was illegal. He knew it was illegal, but he started the whole thing, and there were a lot of dishonest people, and I suspect they'll be caught.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me I just want to be clear about this. Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings.
Okay, folks, before we dive into this absolute insanity, hit that like button right now if you miss having a real president like Barack Obama. And subscribe because Trump is giving us content daily with his meltdowns, and you don't want to miss a single one. So here's what went down, and I need you to tell me in the comments, when was the exact moment you knew Trump had completely lost it? Because for me, it was when this 79-year-old man, 79, posted an AI-generated video of Barack Obama getting arrested. I'm not kidding, this actually happened. And if you're watching this thinking, no way, drop a comment right now, and I'll pin the link to Trump's actual Truth Social post. On June 17th, 2025, Barack Obama shows up in Hartford, Connecticut. And guys, can we just take a moment, type, "We miss you, Obama," in the comments if you wish we could see him back in office. Because what he did that night was absolutely legendary. He destroyed Trump for 67 minutes without saying his name once. Not once.
I mean, what was unusual for me was obviously a lot of what I represented.
Yeah.
A lot of what Michelle and I had tried to project, the values, our thinking about America. You know, my successor seemed to represent the opposite.
Right.
Not seemed, did.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, some fear among a big chunk of the country.
Obama stands there, and tell me in the comments what you love most about Obama's speaking style. For me, it's that calm professor vibe that just makes Trump look like a screaming toddler. He goes, "If you follow regularly what is said by those who are in charge of the federal government right now, there is a weak commitment to democracy." Boom. And I'm watching this thinking, hit that like button if you were cheering at your screen too. This is it. This is the moment Trump's head actually explodes. Because you know he was watching. You know he was probably throwing his Big Mac at the wall.
We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me, or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for?
But then Obama drops this bomb. And guys, seriously, share this video right now because everyone needs to hear this. He says, in 2020, one person won the election and it wasn't the guy complaining about it. Then he adds, and that's just a fact, just like my inauguration had more people. This 79-year-old man, and can we talk about how he's almost 80 and acting like this? He posts this video on Truth Social showing FBI agents tackling Obama, handcuffing him all while YMCA plays.
And the reason some people think, wow, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good, because it was my economy. We had had 75 straight months of job growth that I handed over to him. It wasn't something he did. I spent 8 years cleaning up the mess that the Republicans had left me the last time. So just in case everybody has a hazy memory, he didn't do nothing except those big tax cuts. His other big economic plan now is to slap tariffs on everything, from food to TVs. Now,
you're building your ballroom right now. They're also building the Obama Presidential Library. I'm wondering if you've
He needs help.
Have you seen pictures of the architecture? And
Yeah,
what
I
do you think
did. It's not too pretty. No, but it's closed. It's stopped. They ran out of money. It means building a library / museum. You know, you call it some museum, and usually they call it both. They call it library and museum. That's the official name. And they're stuck. And he wanted only women and DEI to build it. Well, that's what they got. And the construction workers are standing out there and saying, we want to be able to build it. You know, I built a great building in Chicago, as you know, a big, beautiful building, one of the tallest buildings in the country. And we got it built very quickly, very well. And we used the construction workers of Chicago. They're great workers. They're great construction people. And I suggested he get them involved, but they're hundreds of millions of dollars over budget, and I think it stopped. I'm reading these terrible stories, but that's the way our country was run under President Obama, too. Nobody knew it.
What do you miss most about having Obama as president? For me, it's having someone who could speak in complete sentences. It's having someone who didn't post revenge fantasies on social media. It's having someone with actual class and dignity, but it gets worse. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button because I cover every single Trump meltdown as it happens. Trump starts posting QAnon images calling for public military tribunals for Obama.
Each time we've gotten closer to those ideals, somebody somewhere has pushed back. The status quo pushes back. Sometimes the backlash comes from people who are genuinely, if wrongly, fearful of change. More often, it's manufactured by the powerful and the privileged who want to keep us divided and keep us angry and keep us cynical because that helps them maintain the status quo and keep their power and keep their privilege. And you happen to be coming of age during one of those moments. It did not start with Donald Trump. He is a symptom, not the cause. He's just capitalizing on resentments that politicians have been fanning for years. A fear and anger that's rooted in our past, but it's also born out of the enormous upheavals that have taken place in your brief lifetimes.
Military tribunals. Guys, pause the video right now and comment, Obama was the real president if you think Trump is just jealous that he'll never be half the man Obama is. And then, because there's always more with Trump, he's in the Oval Office meeting with the president of the Philippines, and instead of being presidential, he accuses Obama of treason, a death penalty crime, all because Obama hurt his feelings.
Well, based on what I read, and I I read pretty much what you read, it would be President Obama. He started it. And Biden was there with him, and Comey was there, and Clapper, the whole group was there. Brennan, they were all there in a room. Right here, this was the room. This is much more beautiful than it was then, but that's okay. I have nice pictures up that came out of the vaults. They were there for 100 years. This is much more beautiful. We got Barack Hussein Obama. They're the ones, and then you have many, many people under them. Susan Rice, they're all there. The names are all there. And I guess they figured they're going to put this in classified information and nobody will ever see it again, but it doesn't work that way. And it's the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever read. So you ought to take a look at that and stop talking about nonsense, because this is big stuff. Never has a thing like this happened in the history of our country. And by the way, it morphed into the 2020 race. And the 2020 race was rigged, and it was a rigged election. And because it was rigged, we have millions of people in our country. We had inflation. We solved the inflation problem. But millions and millions of people came into our country because of that. And people that shouldn't have been, people from gangs and from jails and from mental institutions, people that we don't want in our country, and people that we're getting out. Dangerous people. 11,888 murderers. Many of them, 50%, more than 50%, murdered more than one person. I hate to say this with such a distinguished guest, but you know, they asked me a question. I got to answer the question. No, Barack Hussein Obama is the ringleader. Hillary Clinton was right there with him, and so was Sleepy Joe Biden, and so were the rest of them. Comey, Clapper, the whole group. And they tried to rig an election, and they got caught. And then they did rig the election in 2020. And then because I knew I won that election by a lot, I did it a third time, and I won in a landslide. Every swing state won the popular vote. But I won that all the same way in 2020. And look at the damage that was caused.
Now I want you to really think about this and tell me in the comments, what quality do you think Trump is most jealous of when it comes to Obama? Is it that Obama is actually intelligent? That Michelle Obama is a real first lady and not a mail order bride? That Obama's kids actually love him? Or that Obama won the popular vote twice? Here's what kills me, and smash that like button if you agree.
Donald Trump is here tonight. Now I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac? Say what you will about Mr. Trump. He certainly would bring some change to the White House.
Obama gives thoughtful speeches about democracy. Trump posts fake arrest videos at 3 a.m. Obama united the country. Trump divides it. Obama had the respect of world leaders. Trump is a global laughingstock. Trump's director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, claims she has evidence Obama orchestrated a coup in 2016, the year Trump won. How does that even make sense? Comment below if your brain hurts trying to understand Trump logic. But here's what I really want to know from you guys. And please, really think about this and leave a thoughtful comment. If Obama could run for a third term, would you vote for him over Trump? Type Obama 2025 if you would, because I'm telling you right now, Obama would win all 50 states.
She's proved time and time again that that's her orientation is, this is how we can help communities. Donald Trump, he's got the opposite orientation. And you know, this is somebody who has a history of looking down and disparaging people who are not like him. And this is not, this is well documented, right? I mean, his father built a business not renting to black people and was very explicit about it and was sued for it. And you know, when Donald Trump wasn't even in politics, you have the case of the Central Park Five, where 5 young black kids, teenagers, are accused of beating a woman in Central Park. And he's taking out full-page ads saying they should be put to death. Turns out they were innocent.
Yeah.
When I was president, he essentially got his political lift by suggesting I wasn't born in this country. Didn't matter what birth certificates we have. So you start from the premise that I'm not going to vote for somebody who does not see me as an equal. How's he going to represent me if he does not think that I am worthy of the same kind of representation as his kids are?
Trump is absolutely terrified of Barack Obama. Obama is everything Trump wants to be. Respected, intelligent, actually loved by his family, capable of reading, you name it. When he cried talking about Sandy Hook, when he roasted Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, mine was all of them because that's what a real president looks like. And guys, if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? I'm here every day calling out Trump's insanity, and trust me, he gives us new material constantly.
The Donald is not really a plans guy. He's not really a facts guy either. He calls himself a business guy, which is true, but I have to say I know plenty of businessmen and women who've achieved remarkable success without leaving a trail of lawsuits and unpaid workers and people feeling like they got cheated. Does anyone really believe that a guy who spent his 70 years on this earth showing no regard for working people is suddenly going to be your champion?
That's just fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why
I
would
don't
the
go to
Department of
war.
Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense. Mr. President, how is your Are you ready?
The president and his allies are trying to tap into that frustration and distract from his breathtaking failures by giving folks someone to blame other than them. They're stoking fears about Black and brown Americans, lying about how minorities will destroy the suburbs, whipping up violence and intimidation, and they're pinning it all on what's been an overwhelmingly peaceful movement for racial solidarity. It's true. Research backs it up. Only a tiny fraction of demonstrations have had any violence at all. So what the president is doing is once again patently false. It's morally wrong. And yes, it is racist. But that doesn't mean it won't work.
See you tomorrow when Trump inevitably does something even more insane. Because with this 79-year-old toddler in office, there's always tomorrow's meltdown to cover. Peace out, and remember, we survived Trump once, we'll survive him again, but only if we stick together. So subscribe, share, and let's build this